Welcome back to my channel, you all. It is Friday, so you know it's time to talk about some fragrances, and today I have picked out my favorite 8 super sexy man-eater perfumes. Now, before you get your torches out, come around my house, I in no way will ever say that you should wear perfumes for other people, man or women, but with Valentine's Day coming up, or just if we want to go out on sexy dates, I thought it'd be great to just talk about my favorite ones that I think are great for date nights. These are all ones that I personally wear on my dates. My husband loves. They are man approved. Like, he goes crazy for these. Any of the other perfumes I wear, he's like, oh, that's nice, but these, he's like, what are you wearing? If you are new to my channel, I do a variety of content on here. I do makeup, skincare, beauty, lifestyle, but on Fridays is when we do fragrances. So if you're here just for fragrances, I'll list the playlist below so you can check out my other fragrance videos. So without talking anymore, let's just jump right into the 8 super sexy perfumes. Number 8, we have Burberry Her Intense. Now this one is not, I would say, super sexy, but it is a little bit on the sexy scale. The reason I added this to the list is because men seem to love this one, especially my husband. This is probably his favorite out of this whole group. Every time I wear this one, he's like, it's amazing. And I was like, why does he like this one so much? It's a beautiful, warm floral perfume. The sexiness isn't really from a spice, it's from blackberry. So the keynotes in this one are blackberry, jasmine, benzoin. So it is a floral, but it has a sweetness and a fruitiness, but it's more depth to it. It's not an immature kind of fruity scent. It's very mature, but in the most modern, sexy way. So when I first spray this one, I definitely get amber and spicy berries. So it is rich. It's a little decadent. It's almost like you were on a Valentine's date and you were gonna feed each other strawberries. It kind of gives me that feeling. It's feminine, it's sexy, it's sweet. So you do have to like sweet. I would say the Intense, I personally love more than the original, but it is a bit sweeter. So if you don't like super sweet scents, I would say get the original, not the Intense. It's very feminine, girly, sexy, but still modern and fresh. It's not too heavy. It's not too thick or overly spicy for those of you out there who like just a little bit lighter, fruity, fresh scent. I think this would be a great option for a date night. When it dries down, I definitely get a rich amber vibe. So it's almost like fruits mixed with a rich base of amber, a little bit of spice in there. You have the blackberry, so it's a little bit deeper and rich. And then to round it out, you have some jasmine in there. That's where the florals come in, but it's very light. It's not overly powering with the jasmine. What I personally smell the most is the blackberries. If I had 2 words to describe this one, I would call it deliciously sexy. And the longevity and the projection of these are both good. I feel like it lasts between 6 to 8 hours, so not extremely long. The best seasons for this would be fall and winter, day or night, but I think especially night. And number 7, we have Tom Ford Black Orchid. So this one, when I first smelt it in store, I could not stand it. Again, with Tom Ford, you have to give them a couple tries and let them dry down. Once they dry down, it's like your impression of it is gonna immediately change, because when you first spray them, they're very strong. Now, I will say this one is not for the faint of heart. If you do not like spicy, dark, rich plum scents, you will not like it, because that's what this is. It's very dark. It's spicy, it's strong, it's earthy, it's boozy because it has some rum in there. Some of the keynotes in it are truffle, plum, rum, ylang ylang, black orchid, and patchouli. When I first spray this one, I definitely get spicy plum. And then in the background laying underneath is the patchouli, which I do not like patchouli myself, but this one is nice. It balances out the fruitiness of the plum, and then you have the rum, which gives it a booziness. I feel like that patchouli kind of cuts it down a bit, gives it that musky, earthy smell. And then you have a hint of the ylang ylang, which gives it kind of this exotic flower just kind of dancing around in the background. But what I mostly get is spicy plum with a booziness from the rum. It's such a sexy scent. It's very deep and dark. This is not one I would wear very often. It's definitely for special occasions, when I'm going out to a really nice restaurant. I feel like if I try to wear this when I'm dressed down, it just totally does not match. It's not one of those grab and goes by any means. Like, you have to have an occasion to wear this one, but it's such a great one to have in your collection because it's so unique, you guys. It's luxurious, it's special, it's different, it's fierce, it's mysterious. It's so many different things, but I definitely get that really spicy, rich, plummy, boozy, deep, dark scent. I forgot to tell you my 2 words for this one. I would say seductive and boozy. That's date night right there in a bottle, you guys. Number 6, we have Versace Crystal Noir. This one is a newer one to my collection. I didn't get it because for some reason I just am not drawn to Versace perfumes that much, but everyone kept talking about this one. I was like, oh, I gotta go smell it. So I went to Ulta and I smelled it and I fell in love instantly. And every time I wear this one, my husband loves it because it's a very sweet, creamy, feminine, sexy perfume. So it's smooth, it's well-rounded, it's complex. There's amber in there to add some richness. There's coconut that gives it the creaminess. And I love coconut in perfumes only if they're done right and they're not synthetic. The coconut in this is absolutely stunning. It just gives it this overall creaminess, and the amber kind of makes it nice and rich. And then you have pepper and cardamom in there, which gives it a little earthy vibe and a spiciness. And then of course that ginger, that's spicy too, but it's a sweet spicy. So it just, oh, it's just a gorgeous perfume. It smells like a deep, sexy, tropical scent. It's like I'm living in Hawaii and I'm going on a really elegant, sexy date with my husband. This is something that I would wear. Out of all the designer fragrances out there, for some reason, this to me just comes across super unique, but still wearable, if that makes sense. Like, it's sweet and creamy, spicy, sexy, a little exotic with the coconut. I'm telling you, every time I wear this, I either get compliments, my husband loves it, everyone asks what I'm wearing. It's one of my most complimented fragrances, so that's why I love it so much. I feel like it's a very safe blind buy as long as you know that you're okay with a bit of coconut and you don't mind ginger and you like kind of a rich ambery base. I would say it's definitely in my whole list here. It's one of the safer blind buys. If I had to pick two words for this one, I would call it creamy and sensuous. Sensuous. At number 5, we have Baccarat Rouge 540. Now this one I have at number 5, even though this is such an iconic fragrance. Everyone has it, everyone talks about it, but I think that's why I put it at number 5 on my list, because when you wear it, everyone's gonna know what it is. It doesn't feel as unique to me, but it's still a gorgeous perfume. So this is an amber floral, and on me, it smells a bit different than what everyone describes it. I definitely get a very fresh, woody scent with just a slight sweetness. I don't get that spun burnt sugar that everyone says it smells like on them. I don't know why. On my chemistry, it just smells very fresh, spicy, woody, very slightly sweet. So when I first spray it, I definitely get it's very fresh and bright and woody. So I pick up the saffron and definitely the cedar and the amber gris. I think that's what I'm picking up. It's hard to tell. This is one of those such well blended perfumes. It's hard to say, I smell this. It's just a very unique scent on its own. It smells like pure luxury. Like if I picture in my mind this extremely classy, well-dressed, sexy, rich woman, this is what I get. Like it smells like pure luxury to me, and I don't know why. There's this underlying spice to it that is so unique and just very rich and luxurious. I think this would be a pretty safe blind buy because just it smells different on many different people, and everyone who gets it seem to like it. I hardly know anyone who does not enjoy this fragrance. The longevity and the projection of this is extremely good. I get this to last well over 10 hours, and I have to be careful spraying it only a couple times. Even though I may go nose blind to it after a little bit, my husband and everyone around me definitely can still smell it. So projections, beast mode. And this is such a versatile fragrance in that you could wear it anytime. Now I have the X straight version, so it has a little bit more almond in there. So I personally would wear it during the day or night. I like wearing it for meetings I'm going to, special events, date nights. Sometimes if I just want to feel like a boss biatch, I'm gonna put this on. Like if I want to feel powerful and strong and I need a little like pick me up and I want to just be like, my God, today I got it in the grips of my hands, that's when I wear this one. This is my girl boss perfume, but it's still very like sexy and luxurious at the same time. At number 4, we have YSL Libre Intense. So this one is obviously a classic. A lot of people have it. They love it. It's still worth mentioning in this sexy list. Super sexy. My husband loves this one. It is sweet. It's vanilla. It's rich. It has a hint of lavender in there. It's such a unique fragrance. This and Versace Crystal Noir to me are the most niche smelling designer fragrances that I can get. When I go into Ulta, if I were to recommend anything that was very special and unique, I would always say the Libre Intense and the Versace Crystal Noir. there. When I first spray this, I get vanilla and tonka bean. So the tonka bean adds that richness in there. The lavender is just a hint of it that gives it that fougere, which is a woody, sweet type of fragrance with a hint of lavender. So that's what the fougere is. Here's the vanilla. Here's the lavender kind of hinting around at the top. You have the bergamot in there, the initial spray that gives it a little bit of that tartness. And then you have the vetiver, which gives it kind of a spicy, woody base is what I'm picking up. It's such a unique, sexy, sweet perfume. It's rich, it's powerful, it's strong. When I go out with girlfriends to go get drinks, or I go on a date with my husband, something at nighttime and I'm dressed up and I want to feel very confident, powerful, and sexy, this is the one that I give. It's just a girl boss perfume, but in the most sexy, alluring way. So if I had to pick 2 words for this, it would be powerful and sexy. At number 3, we have Tom Ford Tobacco Vinnie. Now, of course, I could not do a sexy list without having my Tom Ford Tobacco Vinnie. You guys know, if you've been on my channel or been on my Instagram or TikTok, you know this is one of my favorite scents of all time. It will always be in my collection. When I burn through this, which will be not very far from now because I love it so much, I'm gonna get the biggest bottle possible because I adore this one. My husband goes crazy when I wear this one. Every time I put this on, he was like, you smell so good. He's like, it's Tom Ford, right? I was like, yes. So this one is classified as an amber spicy. It has vanilla, it has some tobacco in there, it has dried fruit, so it gives me a very rich, creamy, dense, spicy with that tobacco, dried fruit, so there's that hint of fruit in there. It's just a very well-rounded, very seductive, mysterious scent. I like this one so much because it's the duality of almost feminine and masculine playing together, so I get that underlying base of tobacco, but it's not gross at all, you guys. It just gives it this like smoky flavor, and then you have the vanilla and the dried fruits over here that are kind of bouncing off of each other, so that's what gives it such a unique scent to me. I personally love fragrances that are very opposite of each other in the keynote, so it's like dark and sexy, but it's like, ooh, it's fruity and creamy over here, and it just makes it a very complex fragrance. I've said this many times, you guys, it reminds me of a niche root beer, like the most amazing root beer. Every time I smell this, it triggers something in my mind that I have to go drink a root beer. After I'm done filming this, I'm probably gonna go get a root beer and drink it because I smelled this. There's something about it, it's just very nostalgic to me. It's just comforting, it's sweet, it's sexy, it's mysterious, it's dark. Like, this is my ultimate date night perfume. If I know I want my husband to eat me up that night, this bad boy is what I'm wearing. I love it so much. And if I had to pick 2 words for this one, I would say alluring and confident. Number 2 is Initio Psychedelic Love. This one, you all, is in my top 5 perfumes. This and the next one I'm gonna show you are my favorite perfumes of all time. They will always be in my collection. I love them so much, I'll probably buy backup bottles because I'm terrified that they're gonna stop selling it. I'm gonna have a meltdown and cry. So the brand Initio, I love so many of their fragrances. I could do a whole dedicated video on just this brand. Not sponsored, by the way, you guys. I truly buy these and I love them personally. So if you wanna see that video, just let me know in the comments. But this one is a warm floral. Oh my gosh. So this is creamy, spicy, sweet, a little bit floral in there. It's very feminine but sexy. When I first spray it, I think I pick up the myrrh and the sandalwood, and that's where that kind of creamy, woody scent is coming in, is that sandalwood. And then you have the feminine parts with the florals. You have ylang ylang and the rose, and I think that's what's giving it kind of this floral scent, but it's very light. Initio perfumes to me are the most expertly blended fragrances. It's very hard to pick out specific notes because they're just blended so flawlessly. It just smells like this amazing, creamy, sweet, sexy perfume. So when it dries down, it's very warm and sweet. Like this to me, I will wear day or night during fall and winter. And then when we go to the other seasons, I'll just wear it at night. But it starts to smell like a vanilla base in there. But I looked at the keynotes, I don't see vanilla, but it has that very creamy vanilla aura about it. And there's just a teeny bit of brightness in there from the bergamot. So you have the bergamot just very slightly up here. You have that rich base that's creamy with the sandalwood. You have the florals kind of dancing around. It's just such a gorgeous perfume. Out of the Initio line, Psychedelic Love is my personal absolute favorite. I feel like everyone talks about the different ones from this line, but for me, this is my top one. And if I had to choose 2 words for this, I would put intriguing and seductive. Like, it's such a different smell. I feel like you don't smell this out there, so it feels a bit unique and intriguing, and it's definitely very seductive because it's warm, rich, and spicy. At number 1, we have BDK Gris Charnel. This one, you all, this is a newer fragrance in my collection, and I actually learned about this from Demi Rawling on YouTube. If you are into fragrances, you know who she is. She's very well known in the community, and she always talks about this one. I was like, oh, it smells amazing. It has all the notes that I like. So I got it. I did a blind buy because I was very confident. I was like, don't do me wrong, Demi. Don't do me wrong. You talk about this all the time, so I hope it's good. And I got it, and I was floored, you guys. I literally ran my butt over to my husband. I was like, you have to smell this. And he was like, that's really good. So it has cardamom in it. So if you don't like cardamom, you won't like this one, but I personally love it because cardamom gives a spicy, exotic scent that's a little bit earthy, a little green, but not like grass green. It's just very earthy, spicy. And then it has some fig in there, which I love fig. It's like a creamy, rich fruit base. And then you have the sandalwood, which is another creamy kind of woody scent at the base. And then to sweeten it up and make it just a touch gourmand, you have the tonka bean in there. So it's just a very warm and comforting scent, but at the same time, very seductive, spicy, sweet, just slightly sweet, not much. This is such a gorgeous, unique, beautiful scent. Like, for me right now, this is my number 1 fragrance out of all time. If my whole perfume collection just got destroyed and I could only buy one to wear all the time, it would be this one. It's that beautiful. And if I had to choose 2 words for this, it would be smooth and exotic. It just has that exotic kick with that cardamom. It's so beautiful. Like, I just want to sit here and smell it all day. I love it so much. So anyways, you all, that is my personal list of the top 8 sexy perfumes of all time. I hope that gives you some ideas. I'll link everything below, and I'll try to find some discovery scents so you guys can sample some of these as well. But let me know what other fragrance videos that you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next Friday for another fragrance video. Have a great one. Bye.